You ever think about a game that's supposed to come out and then you become really disappointed when it gets canceled? Well, just imagine being that game's developer and just how heartbroken you are to find out after a 3-year pause, your project's not going anywhere, not even in a different form. Don't know what I'm talking about? Well, we're going to tell you here on That Game Place. Hi, folks, it's CC here for That Game Place, along with two very special friends. We have, well, just a depth of talent here at Team That Game Place. And let's start first with our friend Nolan Thunder. How you doing, Nolan?
Very good, very good. I hope there's not any news today that's going to devastate me and break my heart.
Well, of course there is. And of course there is. Well, Marvin, it's great to see you, my friend. I think you might be familiar with this story. Are you just jumping for joy that this game isn't going to happen?
I keep up to date on all orange furry creatures. It's a pride thing.
Orange
Does
pride.
that include Chester Cheeto?
Of course it does. He's like the head of our meetings.
Orange
okay.
It's not
Orange
easy
creatures.
being cheesy.
There you go. Orange creatures good. Let's say it that way, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to jump into this story, which actually kind of caught me by surprise because I'd been hearing that this was potentially going to come available for everybody to start playing, and a lot of people were excited. But no! Crash Bandicoot 4 senior concept artist claims that Crash Bandicoot 5 is canceled. That's not good.
Yep. And look, there are a few things that bring about more nostalgia for somebody than a video game company's flagship character. And for the PlayStation, for the PlayStation 1 and for 2, Crash Bandicoot was meant to be the Mario or the Sonic of the PlayStation. I mean, it didn't actually end up that way. He kind of fell by the wayside. But I think a lot of people from our generation just kind of have this this love and nostalgic feeling for characters like Crash Bandicoot, like Spyro the Dragon, characters all from that era and that console.
Well, let me tell you, if we're going to get a little into Spyro too, and that might not make you very happy either, but Crash Bandicoot 5 has reportedly been canceled according to senior concept artist who worked on Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time, which honestly, by the time that game came out, it was about time to get another Crash Bandicoot game. But according to Nicholas Cole, who notes on his LinkedIn that he was the senior concept artist for Crash Bandicoot 4, posted on X announcing that the game, codenamed Project Dragon, he has been working on was scrapped. Interesting. Said, well, our canceled project the last 3 years is officially truly dead as of today. Internal attempts to save it failed. And the embargo on the whole body of portfolio work has been lifted. RIP Project Dragon, brace yourselves for the largest ever art bomb of work I loved. Wow. So there's that wonderful quote. We've got in a subsequent post, he confirmed that Project Dragon was an original IP and was not the Spyro game. He wrote, "Oh heck, I'm sorry folks, it's not Spyro. I didn't mean to give the fandom a heart attack. Dragon is our code name for the totally new IP we're developing for over 3 years. But I'm pretty confident if you ever liked anything I've done, you'd have loved this one." Oh, so Spyro is not doomed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, I'm confused because Crash Bandicoot is not a totally new IP. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's keep going. He reiterated it wasn't Spyro in response to the user's question, and then revealed that Crash Bandicoot 5 was also scrapped. Now, wait a minute. So he wasn't referring to Crash Bandicoot, and he wasn't referring to Spyro. He was actually referring to something completely different. Now,
right, but at the same time, he has confirmed that Crash 5 was supposed to happen and then didn't.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
How many bad news headlines can we get in one day?
Hey,
now,
well,
you know
from
what?
the same
I think
guy.
I think I can take this from a different perspective. I think maybe the Crash 5 that we're getting is not the Crash 5 they were creating, because he says the Crash 5 that never was. And maybe that means that the Crash 5 that we're getting is going to be like Crash Bandicoot, the stunning and brave female version of Crash Bandicoot.
Oh,
Oh no.
you sweet summer child. But maybe you're right. I know this. He
You
stated.
sweet, sweet baby.
No, well, let's hope not. He stated it is not Spyro, but someday, folks, will hear about the Crash 5 that never was, and it's going to break hearts. It's definitely confirmed, Marvin. I'm telling you, this is nobueno.com. But he clarified. He cleared it up. Says, yes, totally separate canceled project at two different studios.
Yikes.
Oh, 37,000 people at the time of capture saw this tweet, and man, they had to have been bummed. So it's not totally surprising that Crash Bandicoot 5 would be canceled. Toys for Bob, the developer behind Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, announced earlier this month they were going independent and splitting ways with the parent company, Activision, who itself is owned by Microsoft, who is the most evil corporation on the planet when it comes to games or most everything else. That's opinion. All right. So the company's heads, Paul Yan and Avery Lodato, announced at the end of February, we are thrilled to announce that Toys for Bob is spinning off as an independent development studio. So they're done. Exploring possible partnership with a new studio and Microsoft. Go ahead, Nolan.
I believe, if I recall correctly, I did an article about this for That Park Place when Toys for Bob went independent. And I think this was actually fantastic news because around with a lot of these public traded companies, yes, you get a lot of investment opportunities, but you have to always kind of bend to what the corporate or political push is at the time for the top dollars. And we've seen this a lot with our modern games, is where they've gotten a lot more corporatized. They look more like an advertisement for the HR department or a corporate training video than they do a lot of games. So I think they made a good decision here. I wonder if this could have been one of the consequences on the wayside of Crash 5's cancellation, was them going independent like this. Maybe that was one of the things that provoked this to happen. We know the embargo has been lifted now, but how long ago did they really know the project was canceled? Do we know that for sure yet?
Well, it sounds like it, but here's some more information I think will give us some context. So the partnership was confirmed at the end of May, with the company announcing on X that we're excited to announce that we'll be partnering with Xbox to publish our next new game. We're still very early in development, so you might not hear from us for a bit, but know that we're working hard on an experience we're so inspired about. Can't wait to share more. All right. Well,
Wait,
they don't give you.
Am I misremembering? Because Crash Bandicoot was PlayStation, right?
Yes. He was PlayStation up until after Naughty Dog jumped ship, basically, because Naughty Dog was the original developers of Crash Bandicoot. Once they jumped ship, they didn't really own the rights. I believe it was Activision. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Activision. When they jumped ship pretty soon after Crash went multi-console, so into the GameCube, Xbox era, you were seeing Crash on different programs, and that's really when Crash's image, even though there were a lot of classics in there, in my opinion, it was really when he kind of lost his face as the PlayStation brand image, unfortunately.
Well, let's find out the game that he was actually working on. So Cole actually detailed Project Dragon. It was a cozy sandbox survival, crafting, multiplayer RPG. That's broad. A buildable world made of blocks inspired by Minecraft, filled with fantasy characters and quests inspired by Breath of the Wild. And I loved working on it dearly. Wow.
Those are great games to be in company with. You have the best-selling game of all time and one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. Not bad influence.
Wait, no. I thought that a game based on Minecraft and Breath of the Wild was called Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, maybe so, but they were working on a competitor to that, I would say. Marvin, what do you think about? Look at this artwork, Marvin. This
That's
Project
cute.
Dragon artwork.
It's adorable. It's not something that I ever would have given the time of day to. I wouldn't have even looked twice at it, to be honest.
Okay, but maybe the ladies, maybe they're trying to bring in the ladies to gaming. You don't know.
It's possible. Look, I think it could have been something the Mrs. Movie Monster would have loved. I mean, she played the My Little Pony game, and she played the she played like one game that was literally just a power washing simulator. So I never know what game she's gonna like.
Power washing ponies
simulator.
Yeah, you had a power washer, and you had to like wash like a playground or something like that. Like get rid of all the dirt.
Okay,
That's
well,
hilarious.
that's interesting. So, as noted, the game was in development for 3 years and appeared to have significant development work done, as he shared all that imagery and animations and all of that, as well as the theme music for a character called Akka. That's cool.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
think
there you
there's a
go.
lot of cool concepts here. It's got a cool art style. I could totally see this as being one of those games that kind of has kind of an indie feel to it, kind of like Power World, kind of like taking off, ends up becoming a big live stream hit. I could see that here, but we have very little to go off of just yet. But I'm sure there's probably a big photo dump going on right now.
Oh yeah, I'm certainly certain there is. It's just not going to be within the context of this article. But I have to tell you, the game sounded like one of those rare things that people might be interested in.
I
I'm
gotta say
curious
though,
though. Sure. I mean, I've just got to ask you guys, what do you make of this? It sounds like we lost 3 games, not one.
I would agree with that. Like, I'm sure there was probably a canceled Spyro project because I remember a few years ago when the Reignite trilogy came out, there was this big thing about there was a door that was located in the game, and that door was just there. Like, no one could go inside of it, and if you like hacked the game, didn't have anything. And there was a lot of speculation that that was going to be utilized in a future like follow-up game. Maybe it could like access something for like its sequel or whatever have you. That it's been several years removed, nothing has happened. Crash Bandicoot's even more tragic to me, and that just breaks my heart because, like, as a big Crash Bandicoot fan, I unfortunately had to miss out on It's About Time because of how the economy's been for the past few years, and I just couldn't take time to really make that big purchase at the time. There were bigger priorities I had, and it's a game I've wanted to get back to, but I'm really hoping that just the state, of where the world is right now didn't hurt a game that's not going to sell as big as Mario. The games are kind of in between the low sellers and the high sellers. Those games take quite a good budget, and there's probably a reason it got canceled. And I don't think it was all just because of agenda. I think it's probably was a financial thing, and it's a real shame because these are brand identifiers that people will sink their heart into. People are going to make fan art of, and it's a great for an image. Nintendo does this all the time with icons that might not even sell as well sometimes from their lower franchises, but it builds a brand. And unfortunately, I think here, I don't think a lot of like Xbox and stuff are really looking for brand builders if the layoffs are saying anything.
Yeah, I think you're right. Marvin, do you have any way to eulogize the loss of 3 Heat projects?
I mean, I just personally find it shocking that you have 2 established franchises and established popular franchises that people actually have genuine affection for and a desire for, not moving forward in a time when Hollywood and the gaming world are mining every IP to death. I mean, we're getting Gladiator 2, but we're not getting Crash Bandicoot 5. I mean, Forspoken got made, and yet we can't get Crash Bandicoot 5. Like, I feel like that's a game that would have been an instant home run. I don't know if maybe there are people that don't like the fact that maybe Crash Bandicoot is a toxic male. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't fit in with the agenda of what's moving forward. Maybe there's some Xbox issues going on there, Microsoft interfering. I don't know. But just super missed opportunity, a lot of money left on the table. And it definitely a surprising move from a gaming industry that is in desperate need of AAA hits.
Hey, you're not wrong. What I would like to say is thank you, gentlemen. I want to ask our audience, though, what do you think? Do you think that you got a triple dose of bad news? Are these games that you cared about? Were they from your childhood, or would you have even played a Crash Bandicoot 5 or a Spyro, I don't know, whatever, or this other thing, Project Dragon, which we don't even know what it is? Look, your thoughts down in the comments section below. If there's any game you'd like us to cover or any game news you think we've missed, leave us a comment down there as well. And there's also some news on some studios that are probably going to close up shop because they made friends with the wrong consultancy group. Keep your eyes out. On that note, as always, game on.